Here in Minnesota, we have learned former state representative Mary Murphy suffered a stroke last week and remains hospitalized tonight. Current Speaker Melissa Hortman confirmed that news on Facebook today. In that post, Hortman says Murphy had 2 strokes last week, followed by a series of complications. Murphy is currently in the hospital, but family has decided hospice will be that next step. Murphy, a member of the DFL party, was first elected back in 1976 and became the second longest serving legislator in Minnesota history. She's also the longest serving female lawmaker down in St. Paul. Back in 2022, Murphy lost a close District 3B race to Republican and current state representative Natalie Zalesnikar. We did reach out to Zalesnikar tonight, who confirmed this news with us, sharing she too was saddened by it. Zalesnikar is sending her prayers to her and her family, adding that she enjoyed her time working on senior care issues with Murphy, calling her a pillar of public service in our community. New tonight.